Hello, my gorgeous light beings, my healers, my star seeds, my light workers. Welcome or welcome back to my channel, the Pleiadian Priestess. Today's reading is going to be about what makes you naturally seductive, okay, in the eyes of everyone, men, women, people, they, thems, everyone. But first, you're going to have to choose an option, okay? So I know the lighting is not the best in this reading, but hey, my light broke, and yeah. So we're going to make do with what we have. For group 1, we have the Spirit Song Tarot. This is what the back looks like. This is what the front looks like. You guys got the Two of Cups, Two of Shells, Union, Harmony, okay? Let's try to fix that back. For group 2, we have the Muse Tarot. This is what the back looks like. This is what the front looks like. Okay, you guys got the Nine of Swords, Nine of Voices, okay? For group 3, fix that back. For group 3, we have the Light Seer Tarot. This is what the back looks like. This is what the front looks like. And you guys got the Ace of Wands. So you're going to choose the deck that calls out to you the most, the image, the card that was chosen or showed presented to you in the choosing option. Did the people who made these two decks, are they the same person? The backs look very familiar. I never noticed that. Yeah, they're both made by Chris Ann. Interesting. I need to get another deck by Chris Ann and make it a Chris Ann, reading, but we're not talking about that right now. Distracted, sidetracking. Back to the reading. You're going to choose the deck, the pile, the color, the number that calls out to you the most. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people at your reading. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group 1s. Oh my gosh. Hello, my gorgeous group 1s. So maybe some of you felt called to group 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Spirit Song Tarot, as well as the card that came out for you guys, which was the Two of Cups, then welcome to your reading. Today we're going to be getting into or going over what makes you naturally seductive. Okay, so we're going to get into it. We're going to get right into it. I should have brought my dice. But we have enough cards today. We don't need dice. What makes you guys naturally seductive? I'm hearing maybe some of you are like very scatterbrained. Maybe some of you are creatives and you write songs, you get lyrics out of nowhere and you have to go and write them down. So your creativity is definitely what's coming through. And I do think that's going to be like a running theme throughout all the readings. So if you do feel called to more than one group or all 3 groups, you can watch them. But yeah, there's something here about your creativity because the Spirit Song Tarot is something specifically about your voice, the way you sing. That's naturally seductive. I'm hearing you're very commanding in your tone. Like you like to tell people what to do, essentially. You could be very good with animals. You're very nature oriented, so you're very natural. You wear things very naturally or do things very naturally. You don't put on a lot of makeup. You don't I'm hearing try too hard, like the way some people do. Some people really don't try hard and they still look beautiful in makeup, looks, clothes. And that could be something coming through. So don't feel that because I'm saying natural, I mean you don't wear makeup or you don't go all out. But it's just something that comes naturally to you where other people have to try extra hard. So you're just naturally seductive, you know what I mean? See, I'm so happy I closed the door because now we have the phone ringing. The phone is ringing. And that's funny how that song is from Wonder Pets. And this deck is full of animals. So yeah, there's something here about you maybe being an animal, okay? Maybe you having a little bit like a very, how can I say it? Not rugged, devil may care attitude, and that's very attractive. You don't really stress over certain things or let things get you out of your energy or get you out of your element or get you out of your character is what I'm hearing, okay? So there's something about that coming through. So let's get into the cards. How about that? Oh my. At least we didn't fall. We have the Queen of Feathers, Perception and Truth. This is the Queen of Swords, okay? So your perception and your truth is definitely something that's very attractive. We also have a Knight. I mean, we also have the bats. There could be something here about you being a night owl. But you have the Emperor. Okay, so we have like very commanding energies coming through, and that is definitely something that I did say for you guys. The Emperor, focus and stability. So how you're able to single-handedly or be very tunnel vision when it comes to what you want and getting what you want, whether it comes to pursuing someone in a romantic sense, in a friend sense, or work, you know, play, jobs. I'm also hearing you're very competitive. So that's coming through. You're very competitive, and that's why you're naturally seductive, because you like to get what you want. And now we have the Panther, I believe that is, and now we have the Nine of Acorns. The Nine of Acorns is Nine of Wands, so we have perseverance, and we also have like a Panther. So we have cats coming through twice here. Very seductive creature. I'm hearing creature of the night coming through with the bats. But cats and felines are known to be naturally seductive. They're very slow. I'm also hearing prowling. So there could be something here about you being a predator, and that's what makes you naturally seductive. And that's what I was saying about the whole single-handedly focus on achieving your goals or getting what you want. So I'm hearing you don't take no for an answer, okay? That can be seen as negative, but we're going to take it as a positive. If you know that it can be taken as negative as well in your character, then take it as negative as well. But there's something here about you not taking no for an answer, okay? Or people are scared of telling you no because you come off as like very intimidating, the way these cats are quite intimidating. Now, whenever I see a Black Panther, you would think I would think of the comic book character, but I think of the character from Jungle Book. He is the Black Panther who guides Mowgli and teaches him right from wrong and teaches him the rules of the jungle. Now we know the tiger is the king of the jungle, or the lion, but what someone pointed out a while ago is that lions don't even reside in jungles to be called the king of the jungle. The real king of the jungle is a tiger, and we don't even have tiger coming out yet. We have the cats though, the big feline cats. So there's something here about you teaching people the rules of the game, or you knowing the rules of the game, and you teaching everyone else how to play it. So there could be something here about you being very good at teaching people or showing people how it's done, is what I'm getting. So you lead by examples, the vibe that's coming through for you guys, and that's naturally seductive about you, because you have like that very, like I said, dominant, commanding presence, and a lot of people find that attractive, okay? Or seductive. You could be telling people what to do and how to act around you and how to treat you and all that kind of stuff, and that's attractive naturally. But the Emperor, focus, stability, is giving very much Aries energy. So like I said, I get what I want. You could have a Temper on you, and that's seductive as well. But it's definitely your determination and your focus, your single-handed focus, or single-minded, one-track minded is what I'm hearing as well. I'm just gonna let you guys know in like about 8 minutes the clock is gonna go off and start talking. If you've been here before, you know what happens occasionally when I film in the living room, because we have a clock that says scripture every hour on the hour. So if you hear that, don't be alarmed. It's gonna come up in 8 minutes. So okay. But yes, the next card we have here is the Hangman. And we have patience and perspective. Let's get some more cards for you guys. What makes my group ones naturally seductive, please, Spirit? What makes my group ones naturally seductive? We have the Traveler, Fool energy. And that can be seen as Aries energy as well, since it's the beginning of the major arcana, and the Aries is the beginning of the zodiac wheel, okay? So Aries coming through twice in a way. Ooh, don't even think about it. Maybe you have quick reflexes, or you're quick on your feet, because a card almost fell, but I caught it, okay? But the Hermit is the same kind of energy as the Hangman, you know? Which is like you're very reserved, you keep to yourself. Maybe there's like a mysteriousness about you. Like I said, you prowl, you like to get what you want. You could be a little bit vicious. Like I said, these cats they go off of instincts, and their instincts are very predatorial in a way, where it's like I kill, I maim, I, attack, and it's just for my survival's sake. It's not personal. Is what I'm hearing. So there's something here about the way you go after things and people, that people are just like, oh, ruthless is what I'm getting. You're giving, if you were in a book, you would be the anti-hero. Okay, I'm hearing Scar, how he really went after wanting to be the king of the pride, or you know what I mean? He went so far as to, unalive his brother. Like, that's crazy. That's diabolical, nasty work right there. And that's literally what he did to become king. And he was king for a time, but it didn't last very long. But you have that kind of character about you. It's very ruthless in getting what you want, and people find that very seductive. You know, like I said, the doing whatever it takes to get what you want can be seen in a negative light or a positive light or both. Okay, it has its moments, is what I'm hearing. So I'm going to take these cards and put them to the side, and I'm going to get into more cards for why you're naturally seductive. I want to get all the cards out. Nine of Acorns is definitely like a not giving up. It says power and perseverance. So you have that I'm hearing virility if you are a guy. Even if you're a woman, you have that femme fatale, seductress kind of vibe about you, where it's just like, I'm going to get what I want. If I have to flirt, if I have to flounce. I'm hearing like a very much you're a Glinda. That's who you are. Because she's like teaching Elphaba how to be popular and how to be flirty and cute and, you know, always win in sports and everything in the song Popular. And she's like, I remember the song, she's like, I'll teach you how to flirt and flounce. And, you know, there's something here about you always like moving your hair the way she did in the movie religiously, flipping her hair and going after what she wants and not caring how it affects other people. And I do believe that was a character flaw of hers until the scene where everybody is like laughing at Elphaba because she's dancing on her own, and then she realizes how Elphaba's not that bad of a person, and then moves into mentor wanting to help mode. So there's like the ruthless side of it where you don't care what people think and how your decisions affect them. Then there's a side of you that has a little bit of heart, you know. So I do think both sides are attractive in their own rights, in their own ways. Okay, so let's see what else comes through for you guys. What makes you naturally seductive? You are given creature of the night, very hidden. Your hidden motives. I think people are not sure how to perceive you or what you're gonna do next, what you're gonna say next, and that's very seductive, because when people don't know what's coming, it always puts them on that energy of anticipation or scared, or their heart is racing, you know what I mean? And that can be taken as excitement sometimes, you know? So maybe you guys are a little toxic. And that's what makes you naturally seductive. You have very toxic tendencies. And I do believe that toxic people, I don't know, they have a way about them. We have Amanita Conduit. And that's that electricity that I was talking about. Your electricity is definitely what makes you seductive. My group ones, please, Spirit, what makes them naturally seductive? We have 42. I'm hearing maybe your age, because that's what I was talking about with the, I can't remember his name right now, but the Black Panther in Jungle Book, okay? He, like I said, taught Mowgli all the ways of the forest and protected him, even fought against, what's his name, Bagheera? He's either the lion from, I think that's the lion from Tarzan. His name was Bagheera, but the other lion, I'm getting his name, but it's not coming through fully, from Jungle Book, who wanted to eat Mowgli. There's something here about you being the lion, but you're also the Black Panther, okay? And if you want to take it as the Black Panther in the comic books, if you're not familiar with the Black Panther from Jungle Book, then there's something here about you putting duty over all, okay? And you being, and also, if we're taking the Black Panther, the comic book Marvel version into consideration, he was quite ruthless when he thought the Winter Soldier is the one who killed his father. And the first time we meet him, he is hell-bent on killing Winter Soldier, and Captain America is hell-bent on saving his friend because he knows that it wasn't him that actually did it. He was under assimilation, you know? So there's something here about that when you're, but then the more we got to know, the Black Panther was the villain in that movie. And I do believe it was Captain America Winter Soldier or Civil War. It's probably Civil War. I believe it is. And where was I going with this? He was a villain in the Civil War, but the more we got to know him and when he had his own movie, we were able to see why he was so devastated and upset by his father's passing. We got to see more into the mind of who he is and how he acts. He's very noble. He comes from, you know, not humble backgrounds, very prestigious backgrounds. He's a prince, you know what I mean, to a kingdom who's hidden and no one knows their existence. They have possession of the most powerful material in the Marvel universe, which is vibranium, you know what I mean? That's what Captain America's sword was made from. So it's kind of like you have those powers, you have those resources behind you, you know what I mean? And like I said, when you have those resources there, you can become quite ruthless, because there was many times in Civil War where he almost overthrew Captain America. They were on a like even footing kind of energy, you know? So there can be something about that. Like I said, your power, your ruthlessness, you know, how you get what you want. What makes my group ones naturally seductive, please? And for those of you, my people who read the ACOTAR books, this is giving me Amarantha. And we all know we don't like that heifer, okay? We don't like her. But she was the villain in the first book. And I do believe a little bit into the second book, I'm not sure, no, she was the first book, okay? Under the Mountain, Amarantha, because Amanita is giving me that. So Amarantha was also the villain in the story. So there could be something here about you being the villain. You know what I mean? But people misunderstanding you. Amarantha, in her case, no, she was the villain, and she had no excuse why she was the villain, okay? She was just a very horrible person and made Farah do a lot of nasty stuff. It's been 8 minutes already. You guys are getting the whole prayer. Amen. 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 Okay. What was I saying about Amarantha? She was just being a heifer to be a heifer, child. There's no redemption in her case, but there is redemption in the Black Panther's case in the Civil War movie, because he did his own movie, and I feel like he was redeemed in that movie. But that's what was coming through. She had Farah going through all kind of stuff, had Rescind being her little sex slave for 50 years, 100 years under the mountain. Like, oh, pure evil, pure evil. And even in his case, in the first movie, not the first movie, Lord, is that foreshadowing? Are they gonna make these books into movies? But in that book, okay, or show, let me stop. In that book, he was seen as the villain in the first book, but we learn later on, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, that he was actually not the villain, okay? He was the one who was trying to help her, and there's a lot of developments that come between the first book and the end of the series, or the end of Farah and Rescind's love story, or where they're the main character anyway. And that's what is kind of coming through in here. He was seen as a villain, but he's also not. Once you see his side of the story, you'll understand why. Which is why I was calling you guys the anti-hero, you know? Or the gray hero, the one who operates in the gray. So there's something here a little bit like dangerous about you. And that's why you're naturally seductive, because people think they're dancing with danger, you know? And I'm hearing that song by Demi Lovato. I was dancing with the devil. Dancing with the devil. And that song came on like yesterday or 2 days ago. And I'm like, hey, this is a good song. But it's not a good song because she basically talks about almost dying because she was doing all those drugs and how she was closer than you'll ever know. You know what I mean? And we know she was close to death. So it's not something we don't know. Okay? Here we have transfiguration. That's you. You're able to change from one person to the next, kind of what I'm getting. You are also a tower. People don't know what to expect from you. Give a little bit like villain vibes, if you guys didn't know. That's why you're naturally seductive. You give bad guy, you know? I'm the bad guy. Duh. Y'all are a mess. Okay. We have rhodiola, which is wisdom. And now this, I can already tell based on how this is acting up that it was crooked. So thank you for that, because I would have kept doing it and it would have been crooked. Okay. And here we have Mucuna, which is journey. I do believe with the transfiguration of the journey, it's giving me an energy of you guys, how can I describe it? Going through a story arc journey. So you could have gone from the anti-hero or the villain to the hero in people's lives, and that's why they kind of see you in that specific light. Because like I said, I keep referencing a lot of people who we saw as villains when we first met them, but they kind of redeemed themselves, besides Amarantha, okay? She, like I said, stayed the villain. There was no redemption for her. But there's something here about you coming off as bad, but the more people get to know you and the more you're able to tell your story, the more we see that you were the actual victim. So maybe you're someone who's always used to being the victim. You kind of turned that around and made yourself the villain, but you didn't really care because that was your villain era. That was your villain story arc, essentially. People always doing bad to you and making you have to turn to the bad guy, you know? Or literally a Winter Soldier coming and unaliving your father and you having to redeem him, or save him, protect him, what is it called? Avenge him. Which is funny because we call them the Avengers, but they're supposed to be the good guys. But then when Black Panther wanted to avenge his father, he was a bad guy. He was only the bad guy because we were watching the hero's story, his point of view, okay? Anyway, we're gonna keep going. What else is going to come through for you guys? What makes you naturally seductive? But yeah, your bluntness, your to the pointness, your ruthlessness definitely coming through as well. You are someone who's also very stable, which is that side of you that I was getting with the whole Black Panther and Jungle Book energy, where he was teaching Mowgli. He was a teacher. The Queen of Feathers can be a teacher. She's also someone who is, what is the word that I'm looking for? Scorned, a woman scorned, because the Queen of Swords is like a divorcee in the story arc of the queens, you know? So I think maybe the Queen of Cups would be the youngest, but the Queen of Swords is kind of like the oldest, the more mature. She's in, you know, league with the Queen of Pentacles. I do believe that's also like a very mature energy, but like you go from not really knowing much, being very open, you know what I mean? The Queen of Wands, you're also very out there, very boasty, to being someone who's more stable, like the Queen of Pentacles, and someone who's more truthful, a woman scorned, someone who's a very experienced. That could be something that makes you naturally seductive as well. Your experience, and you've been through some things, and I think you have to be that way in order to be a teacher to people, in order to help people see things, you know, or to be seasoned, mature, okay? But with wisdom, yeah, we had wisdom, exactly. I completely forgot to look at that card. Yeah, wisdom. That's what you guys gave. But the Queen of Feathers and the wisdom card is giving something here. But you're a little bit of a unicorn. You're unique in that way, where you could be seen as the bad guy depending on which perspective you're viewing from. You know? So did I shuffle these cards? I'm not sure. Let's see. I'll do it again. And literally in this card here, the Jurgen Sasha is giving a bad guy who's burning down the tower, but it can also be seen as a snake protecting its territory, you know? So if you're coming and infringing on someone's territory or their land, and they're trying to unalive you or defend themselves, and they're seen as a bad guy because they're a big scary villain, that's not the same thing. You're twisting the story to fit your narrative, you know? The same way people would come back in the days. I'm getting Pocahontas as well. How the white man came over from England trying to steal and pillage and plunder the Native Americans' land, and they were called the savages. When the people who are doing the slaying and the raping and the murdering are supposed to be the ones who are the savages. But the people who were living in the forest, and because they didn't want to have that kind of more modern living energy, they were sad. It's just crazy, you know? So it just depends on how you're looking at it or who's viewing you. You're either going to be seen as a bad guy, and you're always going to be the bad guy in someone's story. You have to learn to live with it, which I do believe you have. Or you're the person who's protecting your energy, protecting your boundaries. So maybe some of you are very ruthless and mean and standoffish, or vengeful or avenging because you've been hurt before, you know, and that's something that people won't see until they get to see it from your eyes or through your perspective, if you will, you know. So that's what's kind of coming through. But you're definitely a conduit. You get people hot and bothers. That's what I'm getting for you guys, because you have that villain, bad boy kind of energy around you. That's why you're naturally seductive, because you give someone that I shouldn't be with, but I'm still going to be with. You're a little toxic, you know. But yeah, this animal could be seen as a bad guy because he is, you know, big and scary, and he's like a snake, but he's also someone just protecting his territory, you know? So what makes my group ones naturally seductive, please? You can also see bats as bad people because they like to dwell in the dark, but that's just how they were made. You can't blame a bat for always wanting to be in the dark. And that's how they were born. That's the only way they can see it properly. We have a yang, so you guys have like a very masculine energy. That's what makes you seductive. You're the taker, because yang is take, do, pillage, plunder, savage, you know? Like I was saying in the beginning, predator. And that's why you're seductive, because you go after what you want, you always get it. Here we have deep knowing, but you're also very wise. Like I said, with that black, I want to know his name. I always forget it. I know it, but I forget it. And then we have flexible, because you can be both. You can flex and be who you need to be, I guess, depending on who you're dealing with, which is also very, you know, a smart thing to do. Based on who you're dealing with, you act in different kinds of ways, you know? At the bottom of the deck, we have soulmates. And I do believe the card that helped you choose your group was Two of Cups. So I do believe people are like enamored with you romantically, but you can sometimes come off as like a little bit toxic. But people still see you as a soulmate because, okay, I'm gonna spoil it. I don't want to though. Recent and Faye, I mean, I feel like at this point it was spoiled with for me before I even read the books. Anytime you look up Akatar, male character, even when I was reading the first book and I was trying to look up what Talon looked like, all I was finding was Reese. And I'm like, who is this person? We haven't even met him yet. And then even when we did meet him in the first book, he was the person who saved Farah from those oogly mooglies. He was still seems like a bad guy, a predator, a bad boy kind of energy. And we're just like, who is this person and why is he the only one always showing up whenever we look up Akatar for guys, for male figures, or male characters or whatever, or Tamlin in particular, like they're spoiling it for you already. They're soulmates in the book, Farah and Rhysand, okay? Sorry to spoil it, but hey, I kind of precursed that I was going to spoil it, so you could have skipped over it. But yeah. That's what's coming through for this. Like you meet someone. I do believe what I always say when I'm reading my books. I know that the person, even if they're with somebody else at the moment in the book, whenever they say, this is the most gorgeous person I've ever seen in my life, I already know that's the person they're ending up with, hands down, okay? And that's what Farah said when she met Rhysand in the first book. She was like, and I'm the most gorgeous guy I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, oh, okay, there y'all go. No wonder Rhysand is the one that was popping up when we look up Tamlin, and that's the person she was with in the first book. You know what I mean? It's just like, there's certain things you know as a book reader, or whatever reader, to look for in books to give away what the author has in store. They could either be doing it purposely or not purposely. Like I said with you could be being the bad guy purposely or not purposely. But like I said in that first book, child, she was like, he's the most gorgeous guy I've ever seen. Okay, that's it. Close it up, close it down. We already know that's gonna be the person she ends up with, and she does. Okay, but yeah. And he was also like a very masculine energy, very warry, very testosterone-y, bad boy-esque. That's your thing, or bad girl, whatever you want to call it. I'm hearing bad girl Riri. I like a bad girl like Riri. What song is that? It's a song by Pop Smoke. I like dark skin. There's something. Cause that song is not coming through. I can't remember the name, but that's the song that's coming through for you guys. He's like, he wants a bad girl like Riri, okay? Thought I pulled from all the decks? No, I didn't. There's still one more. I'm like, I know I'm missing a deck. Don't fall, please. Just come to mama. Yes. It could all be so simple. It could all be so simple. That song by Lauryn. Lauryn Hill is coming through. Stop it. Don't try to sit here and get my black card revoked. Lauryn Hill is coming through. So maybe you guys are like her, where she'd like to speak about the real facts of life. In the Queen of Feathers, you speak the real truth. You don't hold anything back. If you're the villain, you're gonna be the villain. If that means you speak your truth and do what's best for you, that's just life, Maybe some of you I don't know, like do shrooms or something, because we have the mushrooms coming through here. But maybe some of you are physically flexible, and that's what also makes you naturally seductive, because you know how to, contort into certain positions. Okay, go off. But people learn things from you, whether it's harsh lessons or just more about your life. You're very honest. Oh, thank God you didn't fall. I would have cried. You have hostilities. This is exactly what I've been saying. Hostilities. Like, I wonder if you'd be able to see it over there. You come off as hostile. And then we have 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, okay? So 5th chakra is your throat chakra. So the way you speak, the words you say, and that's what I was saying with the spirit song. And the Queen of Feathers is your voice and how you speak. That's very seductive as well. Archangel Gabriel is the messenger archangel, okay? That's his thing. He's the one who delivered the message to Mary saying, you was going to be carrying that holy child. You know what I mean? He gives the prophecy, speaks the truth, speaks wisdom. That Black Panther and Jungle Book that helped Mowgli. Yeah, that's what you guys are coming through as. Like a very helping hand kind of person, but also ruthless in a way, And that's literally who Rhys, I keep bringing him up, I'm so sorry, who he was in that first book. He helped Farah under the mountain. He was like that very masculine energy, and he was also seen as the bad guy, but he was also helping her. And we don't find out how much he helped her until, more so in the series, So yeah, you come through as someone who's like mean and raw, but you're really not. You've just been through some things, which is why you may come off as mostly hostile. Like, I do think that things were done to you, and that's why you come off this way. But underneath it, you have, like, not pure intentions, but there's a reason behind it. You can justify it, essentially. Like, does the ends justify the means? Yes. When it comes to you guys, y'all. But you also just have that electricity about you, because we have this fire burning here. We have Aries guys coming through. So Mars is like your archetype. Okay? So some of you could be Aries risings, or you have Mars as your chart ruler, which will make you an Aries rising. Or maybe a Scorpio rising as well. So Scorpio energy is coming through, which is that very seductive, secretive, brooding, bad guy kind of energy, I would say. Because Scorpio is naturally or traditionally ruled by Mars until it was given to Pluto. You know what I mean? And Pluto is that transfiguration, that destruction. So maybe you guys are a little bit mean. And that's why you're seductive as well, okay? But let me just get these last cards out. We have cornucopia. Cornucopia, I'm hearing very seductive. Okay, so you're very seductive. I mean, that would make sense if you're being ruled by the fire sign Aries, and the Mars, which is like Aries, the god, which is all about destruction, transfiguration, burning things down. This card here gives tower moment. So you're very much intense in that way, where you're like, maybe, like I said, seemingly the villain, but you're not. But I was gonna say something else. And Scorpio is the most fire sign, water sign ever. So you're giving fire with Yang coming through, okay? Cornucopia. I'm also hearing Zuko. And Zuko had a redempting story arc as well. Just to give you more characters that you may know to understand the energy that I'm feeling. Because even when he was mean and green and when he had his redemptive arc. So maybe you guys could be bad guys turned advisors, you know what I mean? Or people who used to be toxic, who are now healing and helping others to become less toxic, because Zuko now, that man is, child, he didn't become fine until he had his healing arc, because when he had that ponytail, he wasn't cute, you know what I mean? When he started growing out his hair and drinking tea and being more soft-spoken and shy but still ruthless, oh yes, yeah, that's when you was like, that's when I developed a crush on Zuko, okay? So that's what you guys are. People like you for that intensity that you guys have, that may seem mean, but it's just like an acquired taste, You can be one thing but also be another thing, very flexible, okay? But yeah, we have cornucopia. I want one more card. Very abundant as well. Like I said, you have things to offer people. And I don't think you're seeing it. So I'll leave it like that. One more card for why they're naturally seductive. Please, my group ones. So your voice, your actions, maybe the way you teach or the way you sing, because we have the Spirit Song Tarot. Your flexibility. Can I get one more card, please? Like, what's the issue here? And I think this is the temple path. Yeah, there's something here about you going from this person who spoke their mind and maybe was seen as like this ruthless, mean person to becoming this wise person. You went on, like I said, that redemptive arc, the way those people that I was mentioning, Black Panther did, Rhys did, Zuko did, okay? Is there anything else that anyone else that I mentioned? Even the Winter Soldier, he was seen as a villain because he was out here unaliving people, but he was also, it wasn't his fault. It was something that was done to him. The things that were done to him that made him do those things, And that's what I was saying about you guys. You've been through a lot of things in life, and it may have turned you cold and mean, but there's also a softness and a wisdom beneath all of that that people can see, and they're just attracted to, because you have stories to tell, essentially. Your voice, the way you speak, and you could tell your stories and be vulnerable sometimes, and people are like, oh, we love a villain with a heart of gold. We love a teddy bear. We love a big growling, villain or character that's a big softie. We love them. That's what you're giving, okay? You've taken the temple path. You've learned, you've evolved, okay? You've grown. And then here we have the world. And it's like a very dark and somber card. So definitely something here about learning a lot of lessons. And I love how we have like a lot of tarot imagery in the oracle cards. This would give obviously the world, which is the end of a cycle. You've learned a lesson. So there is something here about you learning and growing as a person, evolving to the next level. Because after the world, we start all over again and become the Fool all over again. And you guys got the Fool, adventure potential. Exactly. Boom. So you are seen as the villain with the heart of gold who has lover, long-term, main character potential. Okay. You have hero potential, which is why you're called the anti-hero, because you may go after things in a way that is not seen as justified, but it is if from your point of view, you know. I'm gonna leave things right there. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you watch this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group twos. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Muse Tarot or you chose the Nine of Swords, then welcome to your reading. I hope you can see the card properly because the light is glaring for me. Nine of Swords. Then welcome to your reading. Today we're going to be getting into what makes you naturally seductive, okay? So immediately with the Muse Tarot alone, you inspire people to do better, okay? Creatively, you are definitely someone who's chock full of ideas and you share those freely. If you felt called to group 1, just letting you know you should watch group 1 because I called group 1 group 2 when I started. So that's out there. And then I also said I think there's going to be an air of creativity through all 3 readings. So if you felt called to all 3, go ahead and watch all 3. Why not? If you have the time, do it. So what is naturally seductive about you? It's your creativity, okay? It's the way that you inspire people. It's the way you're real. I'm hearing you're true to yourself. You're true to your heart. So it's definitely something here about people like fall in love with you very easily in creative spaces. So if you write together, they fall in love with you very easily because you inspire them there. They fall in love with your mind, the way it works and how you come up with things. That's what makes you naturally seductive right off the bat. Okay. But yeah, that's what we're starting off with. That's what's coming through. Now with the Nine of Swords, there's something here about you, like for specific people or just people in general, you are very often running through their thoughts because Nine of Swords is overthinking, okay? Maybe there's something here about you overthinking or always having a worry or just your mind is always racing, which is why it's such a beautiful thing because you come up with certain things and do certain things and say certain things, and that's what makes you naturally seductive, okay? So I'm getting very funny for you guys, but also I'm hearing ingenious or just genius. I'm hearing savant. I'm hearing professional. You're always professional. You're always well put together. Which is why you inspire people to do better because you're a muse, right? And muses inspire. And they inspire creative genius in people. So you could, like I said, you're a creative genius. Those things are coming through at the bottom of the deck. We have strength as well. So there is something here about your strength is silent, okay? You have a quiet confidence about you. And that song is coming through once again. Invisible by Hunter Hayes. So maybe you chose that group in the other reading that I did. It was about why do men want to be around you. That can tie into why you're naturally seductive. It's because you have a quiet confidence that makes people want to hear and listen and stop and listen. It's more specifically. So if something is quiet, you have to stop and listen more, right? You have to be in tune with that person. So people feel very in tune with you. I'm also hearing you're very personable, or people want to get to know you more based on how you present yourself and your genius. So it's like giving me, for example, sometimes you just burst out singing, or you get an idea, you have to write it down. You know what I mean? Or a song comes to mind, you have to sing it. Or you get a idea for a book and you stop and write it down in your notes. And you're always doing these things very often in your everyday life. People are like, what are you doing? Like, what are you writing in that journal of yours? That's giving me like a book or a movie or something where some girl is always writing in her journal, or a guy, and the other person asks like, what are you always writing in that journal of yours? Like, it's giving me that. So like maybe you give like when people are around you make them feel like they're in a movie of sorts, you know? And I'm not sure if I said that for that same group, but that's coming through as well. your confidence, your strength, your inner strength, your outer strength, okay? I'm hearing inner sanctum, so you make people feel very comfortable around you. And I do think that when you're most comfortable and your guard is down, that's when you can, you know, the creativity comes through. So maybe there's something here about your sacral chakra, okay? You get people feeling like very, you know, stimulated when it comes to their sacral chakra. So let's get into the energy. And sacral chakra has to do with grown folk energy as well. So you're very seductive in that way, which is why I said I was getting that same vibe for group 1. So some of you could be traveling over from there. We have the 10 of voices. Why do you guys keep getting like overthinking and backstabbing, and you always look worried or tortured in some kind of way? We have justice in reverse. Wow. Why are my group 2s naturally seductive? We have the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, maybe because you're a little unpredictable. People never know what you're going to say, what you're going to do. And I do think that is quite seductive. Like when someone is like, I'm hearing a wrecking ball of force to be reckoned with, maybe. There's another word for what I'm trying to explain. A live wire. When someone is it's not coming through, but I think those explanations will suffice as well. When someone is and your card just flying all the way out. We have 8 of Inspiration, which is 8 of Wands. We have 6 of Emotions, 6 of Cups, so people do feel comfortable around you. We have the 10 of Wands also coming out in your reading, okay? So what I want to do is put the cards next to each other. So bring them down like that. I was going to put the 10 of Wands over here, and I think the 10 of Swords didn't want to come out in reverse as well. So there's something here about you take the burden off people's shoulders, so they could be having, or people could be having the most stressful day, and then as soon as they come around you, they feel lighter, you know? All those worries fly away, all those burdens are like no more, essentially. And you guys got 2 muses. Wow, 2 kings. We have the Hermit in reverse. You get people out of their shell, which makes you naturally seductive. And we have the Knight of Inspiration as well, which is the Knight of Wands. So we're going to put 1 king over here and 1 king over here. We have the King of Cups and we have the King of Swords. And I do feel like there's a reason why I feel called to put them on opposite sides of the board. So I do feel like sometimes you're like Mercurial, which is the King of Swords, and then sometimes you're also, I think the King of Cups can also be a little bit mercurial, for example. So I do think you're the tortured poet, you're the tortured soul in some kind of way, and that's why people want to get to know you more, and that's what makes you seductive, the fact that people want to know more, they don't really know a lot about you. And that has been coming through a lot, honestly. So I do believe there's a reading I did before this reading where it was like, what makes you stand out in the crowd? And if you pick the brooding pile for that one as well, where people want to know more, and you could be someone who's very private, because I do believe both of these kings are quite private. They keep their cards very close to their chest. And I'm sorry, I just love shuffling these cards. Like, people just want to know more cards wants to come through. That's what makes you seductive. You bring people, you put them in a trance, first of all, is what I'm hearing as well. And you make them, like, want to know everything about you. You know, they sit and they listen, like I said, because you're so quiet and you don't talk much. They want to know more, you know, which is giving the Edward Cullen effect, the fact that all the girls in school wanted him, but he didn't want any of the girls, and he didn't want any of the girls because they were boring and they were predictable, and he could read their minds. And the one thing that made him want Bella is the fact that he couldn't read her mind. He couldn't always know what she was thinking. He didn't know how she was feeling. And that's the whole reason why he was attracted to her in the first place, in my opinion, is because, first of all, there was something about her blood smelling really good, but it was because he couldn't read her mind, which is why he was attracted to her in the first place. People couldn't tell what Edward was feeling. He was very, you know, removed from the rest of society, more so than his siblings, even though they were all kind of mysterious and sexy vampires. He was the most brooding and mysterious one. I'm also getting the Christian Grey effect, where he was so tortured, he was so rich, he was so, I just want to heal him and fix him kind of energy is what people feel towards you. They're just like, I want to know all of your troubles and ease them, which makes you naturally seductive. So it's that tortured part of your soul that makes you naturally seductive. Okay, guys, if you say so. You guys are funny. Maybe you guys are funny and have a sense of humor, but yeah, I just want to get all the cards out before I start saying, because I tend to like repeat stuff and then repeat them again when the cards come out and say it in the oracle cards as well. That was a horrible shuffle. There's something here about like you always seem like in your head or lost in thought, and people kind of want to pick your brain is something that's coming through as well. What makes my group 2s naturally seductive, please? But you ease people's worries. You make them feel comfortable with the 6 of Cups coming through as well. They feel like they know you, or you give them a space to feel comfortable to open up to you, you know? So it's kind of like you, I'm hearing quiet, intimate, whispered breath, stuff like that. You give off that kind of energy. Like maybe you speak, you're very soft spoken or something like that is coming through for you guys. You're very composed. People don't know what you're feeling, and like that's, like I said, two sides of the same coin essentially, with the King of Cups and the Muse of Inspiration. The King of Swords kind of gives me. The King of Swords is stoic, impenetrable, cold, standoffish. The King of Cups has so much control over his emotions. He can come off that way as well. Cold, indifferent, standoffish, mercurial for both of them, you know? Tortured, unfeeling. All of those words are coming through, and that's what makes you seductive, because everyone wants to like tame or heal and fix those kinds of people, you know? Like I said, the people who write songs and they're always writing sad songs, you want to heal them in some kind of way, and that's you guys. Here we have intuition. Exactly, that's a lot of you guys. Also have a lot of like we have ayahuasca rebirth. Okay, so you guys are like a drug essentially that gets rid of all the poison and toxins in people and make them want to be better, which is that rebirth. Okay, and it's funny because I was watching a reading by, I forget her name, it was like, what makes you so yummy, and she was like comparing us to an ayahuasca ceremony or ritual where you take for those of you who don't know, now I'm explaining it the way she had to explain it. It's a drug that you take, a herb, I believe, that you eat that kind of purges all the SHIT from your system, the toxins. It makes you throw up. Okay, it makes you release all the nasty stuff from the mouth, from the behind. And it takes you on a trip that allows you to astral travel or go on like a trip, like in a sense, mushroom trip or something like that. Like you're high, and that could be how people feel around you. Like you like purge all the sickness out of them, all the waste, the toxins, and you kind of take them on a trip. Is essentially why you're very seductive. And that could be why they're leaving all their worries behind, honestly, because 10 of Wands is, oh, I'm stressed. And if you were to relieve all of that, you're gonna be unstressed. You're going to be free. High as a kite is what I'm hearing. If we have the 10 of Voices, the 10 of Swords, this is betrayal, you know, someone hurts you, it's an end. You're like reaching the end of your rope, and you come around my group 2s, like, oh, this person kind of reverses that, or they give me a rebirth and give me a new chance, a new lease on life. I feel inspired to do better, you know, become a better person is what I'm hearing. So that's kind of why you're naturally seductive. You seduce people with wanting to be better, or they look up to you so much they want to be like you is what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing that song from Jungle Book 2. I want to be like you. I want to walk like you, talk like you too. So it's kind of like how people say, if someone likes you, they start imitating you. Like, you know, like if you're standing next to a guy and you want to know if a guy likes you, for example, if his feet are pointing towards you, yes, he likes you. If you're like leaning against the bar and then he starts leaning against the bar, he likes you. Like if you start drinking your drink and then he goes to drink his drink, he likes you. If you scratch your nose and then he goes and scratches his nose, it's like a psychological thing that we do when we like someone, you know? That's kind of what is coming through. Like people start doing what you do because it makes you more, not attractive, that's not the word I'm looking for. It makes you more likable, maybe. like if you start doing what someone else does, it's kind of like you imitating them makes them like you more, you know, or you just do it inherently because you already like you're synced into them or you like them a lot. There's something about the psychology behind that that makes sense, okay? So like I said, if you're talking to somebody and they start imitating you, they like you. Or if you're just with someone and they start following what you do, it's because they like you, want to be more like you, okay? That's why you're naturally seductive, because you inspire people to do things. You can kind of get them to do whatever you want, maybe, and people feel like they're in a trance when they're around you, okay? What is that sound? You get them out of their shell, and justice in reverse, you can make them want to do naughty things is what I'm hearing. At the bottom of the deck, we have elder wisdom, and this came through for group 1. So just putting that out there in case any of you felt called to group 1. Here with the intuition, these are giving me amethyst, and then we have an ace of cups. So you kind of invoke feelings from them they never felt before. That's that inspiration muse kind of energy. They're just like, oh, when before they saw you, they were feeling down and tired and ragged, you know, run ragged as well. But then as soon as they're around you, they get that fresh zap of energy, if you will, you know? So you make people feel alive. And I think I did say that in the other reading as well. And here we have the sun and the moon. That's what I was talking about. You're two halves of the same coin. The sun and the moon are both celestial bodies, but they inhabit different energies. The sun is more victory. It's light. It's bright. It's energizing. It's, you know, like an Energizer bunny. And then we have the moon. She's more calm. She's more mellow. She's more brooding. She's more things that are kept in the dark versus the light, which is the sun. And that's kind of what you guys give. This card is very bright. This card is very dark. But the King of Cups and the King of Swords kind of, King of Swords, King of Cups, give the same energy, you know, but different fonts, if you will. If that makes sense. So maybe the way you're able to be like very uppity and high energy 1 second, and then very low energy and very seductive the next second. I'm hearing you flip the switch. I just flipped the switch. What else is coming through? The Eight of Inspirations. Yeah, you're always coming up with new ways to do things. There's something about that muse, whirlwind, fast incoming messages. So maybe you could talk really fast and that makes you seductive because people like want to hear what you have to say. Eight of Wands is also, like I said, whirlwind energy. So you go from being quiet 1 second and slow and methodical 1 second to being like this Tasmanian devil the next second, a hurricane or a tornado the next second. And you know what's funny? I actually, now that I'm speaking about it, this is the second time me speaking about something or thinking about something kind of like triggered a dream that I had. I had a dream about a tornado. I almost got swept away in a tornado last night. In my dream. I don't know if that holds some kind of symbolism, but you guys are giving that the Tasmanian devil and how he would start moving really fast and destroy everything in his path, maybe. But yeah, there's something about that. I had a dream about a tornado and I've never experienced once, and I really feel like I was there. I'm like, this is my first tornado, but it was a dream. It wasn't real. Or I could have been astral traveling, who knows? I don't know. Lucid dreaming as well. Because that's when you remember your dreams. You have leadership because you're a leader. That's what I was saying about people imitating. I'm hearing life imitates art. So maybe your life imitates your art and people are, you know, fascinated by how you live your life. I'm also hearing something here about crazy styles. You like to wear your hair because this lady here, I don't think she's wearing anything. Yeah, she has like a very intricate braiding hairstyle, which you usually see on a black woman, but they have it on this woman in this card here. So I guess we'll go with it. There's something here about you, you're good at doing your hair or making your hair look really good and flowy. You're giving that Beyonce effect, which I mentioned in another reading, where your hair is just always flowing. But you make people feel fresh and brand new. I'm hearing so squeaky clean. Here we have Mandrake, sensuality. So that's coming through as well. You're also very inherently sensual is what I'm getting. If you can't see the card fully, I apologize. Let me keep it all the other cards. A Knight of Inspiration is definitely someone who's always doing something new. You're always going out of your comfort zone. I do feel like you make people feel comfortable going outside of their comfort zone. You're also someone who is like a buddy is what I'm hearing. If someone is doing something new, you're going to be doing it with them. the way you look at people, the way you accentuate your lines is what I'm hearing. Because I don't teach at a dance studio, I host at a dance studio. So I'm always hearing the instructors explain how to do certain dances, and it's kind of like you move like you're like taffy. You know what I mean? You accentuate your lines and you move slow and seductive like a turtle and fear, you know what I mean? Like you talk really cool and chill is the vibe that's coming through for you guys. You're not in a rush. But then we have the 8 of Wands, which is you are in a rush, which is why I keep saying that duality or dichotomy keeps coming through for you guys. You're one and then you're the other. We have a happy family. So you make people feel like they're a part of your family. We have 4, which is that stability number. We have 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune. So you make people feel lucky. And then we also did have Justice in reverse. I'm trying to figure out what Justice in reverse and the Hermit in reverse has to do with anything for why you're seductive. Or naturally seductive. Like these are not going to be overtly things that like you do to look seductive or be seductive, because this is why you are naturally seductive. So if you feel like you're not getting enough, the way you flip your hair and bat your eyelashes and in this reading is because those things people do purposely to be seductive. How you're naturally seductive is things you do that you don't realize you're doing that is seductive, you know? If that makes sense. I think it should. We have financial constraints, a deceit. You know, we're going to put these back. If it comes out again, I'll take it. But those are too many cards in the first place. I only want like 2 or 3. Why are my group 2s naturally seductive? Maybe because you have a happy family. You come from a happy family and people covet that. Is what I'm hearing. Your family is quite seductive. And here we have the thinking man. So yeah, the way you think and your ideologies and the things you believe in is definitely very seductive. The things that come out of your mind. And here we have caring connections. And another card. Okay, I just wanted 3, but we got 4. We have caring connections. And then we have angel of balance. That's what was coming through for you, where you're one thing, but you're also the other thing as well. You make people feel happy, like they're a part of your happy family. So yeah, that's that comfortability coming through. You make people comfortable. I don't want to keep repeating myself. At the bottom of the deck, we have indecision. So people never know what to expect from you. You're kind of like a wild card, is what I was trying to say earlier. You're a wild card. That's that Wheel of Fortune energy, where you're always quickly changing. Maybe you're like, I said Mercurial earlier. You change from one emotion to the next very quickly. So it's like you give people whiplash. Like, oh my gosh, how am I supposed to feel about my group 2s? I don't know. That's seductive about you. You keep people guessing and wondering. Wild card. I'm also hearing paso doble. So maybe some of you do dance for real. And you do like professional techniques and teach people how to dance. And that's also seductive. Or like the way you walk is like a dance, you know? And I'm hearing your music to my eyes. Oh, wow. That song from A Star Is Born. Your music to my eyes. I had to listen just to find you. Oh my freaking gosh. And what was I saying at the beginning of the reading? I'm like, why is this song coming through? Because songs just be coming through sometimes. And I'm like, what does it have to do with the reading? Your music to my eyes. I had to listen just to find you. Your music to my eyes. I have to listen just to find you. He's like, I heard the lyrics and knew you were mine. Play me a song that you feel or dance the horizons with you. I want to learn your every line. I want to feel your empty spaces. Something like that. I want to play the part to reach your heart. Give you a song that you feel. Yeah, so people just want to be your music to my eyes. That's so beautiful. Like, who says stuff like that? I was obsessed with that song for a good minute at the end of the last year. Like, I was listening to it on repeat. Because there was just something about that. And you could have like a raspy voice and it's very attractive. You could have a good singing voice, which is very attractive. You say things like your music to my eyes, which is very attractive. You're very musical in tone, or your voice sounds like a tinkle. of a fairy. Maybe you look a little bit like a fairy or something. You look like a character out of a movie or a book or something that makes you naturally seductive. You're naturally what people gravitate towards, what people find attractive. And it's in the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you act. And I'm hearing that song by Griff, that there's something in the way that you walk, I can't put my finger on it. Something like that. Walk is by Griff. It's another song coming through for you guys. And I'm getting more songs than I did for group 1, I think. So that could have something to do with it, because your music, you know, people could write songs about you or want to write songs about you or see you and you inspire them to write songs or write a book or something like that. You ever met someone and the interaction was like so profound, you just start making them a fairy tale character in your head, or you add them into the next song you sing? It's kind of like I'm hearing Galway Girl by Ed Sheeran, how he met a girl in Galway and he wrote an entire song about her. You know what I mean? It was like one night he saw her dancing, living life. That's the kind of thing you are, like that sprite energy where you're dancing to the music, you're dancing like nobody's watching, singing like no one is listening. And it's kind of like that kind of energy that's very intoxicating, muse-like, and you inspire people to write music or write books or incorporate you into their songs, or they're telling stories to their friends about you and how this girl they met, Galway, just another Galway girl. Yeah. Na 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 na, go away, girl. That song by Ed Sheeran's coming through, but he basically said he wrote that song based on a girl he met one night in Galway, and how it's like she played a fiddle in an Irish band, but she fell in love with an Englishman. Kissed him on the neck, and then he took her by the hand, said, "Baby, I just want to dance with my pretty little Galway girl." So like you become a story people tell their friends years, months down the line after meeting you, whether something happened or not. That's your natural seductive quality, you know? If that even makes sense. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. We have time for a nap. Fork in the road. Did I pull all my cards? This would be my last deck to pull from. We have community. Yep, that's that 6 of Cups. A happy family. You make people feel like they've known you for a long time, like they want to know you for a long time. And then we have go the distance. I am on my way. I can go the distance. So Hercules, maybe some of you look like Hercules, or you're built like Hercules, or you have like the really cute curly hair that he did in the movie. The way you drink something as well. Some of you have like shorter hair and that looks really cute as well. Bangs is also coming through. Your bangs are also very seductive. The way you kind of like, I'm hearing the Justin Bieber hair swish or hair flip. I forgot about that. Who, like the things from the reaches of my memory are coming through for you guys. Like the recesses of my memory. Y'all remember when Justin Bieber first came out and how all the girls would fall in love with his little hair swish? That's what's coming through for you guys. Like how he would just move his hair and 100 girls would drop unconscious. And I'm also getting how Michael Jackson, when he was on stage singing specific songs, I think in the Super Bowl, he stood still for like, was it 15 minutes or like 10 minutes or 5 minutes? And people in the, like, hopped up from the bottom of the stage, landed in place, and he stood solidly still for 5 minutes, didn't move. And the people in the crowd, the stadium, were going crazy over him. There's just something about the energy that you bring and you give to things you give. You give your all. Like you're like a master. Like those people that are coming through. Like I said, a savant. But whatever you do in music, dance, whatever, you do it so well that people feel it. And they're like, oh, look at the way she's singing that song. Look at the way she's dancing. Look at the way she's doing this. Look at the way he's doing that. Michael Jackson was such a creative genius. He would like just hop on stage and for 5 minutes, the girls would be screaming in the crowd, like fainting. Like his concerts would go crazy. They would have to have an infirmary or a tent with nurses and EMTs because girls would be fainting for that man. Like, what do you mean? And that's not something you can buy. It's just something that you're naturally born with, which is why you're naturally seductive in that kind of way. You know? Exactly. Your lion's mane, your hair is definitely coming through, and I did get that here. I was also getting it here in the King of Cups, the way her hair is, the way she's drinking something in her cup. You know what I mean? There's something like ethereal, otherworldly about you, which is why I think lucid dreaming was coming through in the ayahuasca journey, because it's like your soul is traveling somewhere your body isn't, you know? So you're good for the soul, food for the soul is what I'm getting, while you're naturally seductive. You stir something in people's soul and their spirit, okay? Here we have community. You could have a specific community where you make people feel very comfortable, and that's why you're naturally seductive. I think just you being yourself, honestly. You being your quirky self is what makes you naturally seductive. We have time for a nap. People feel cozy, like you tell them good stories and they just fall asleep in your arms, in your presence. And we have the moon coming through again. So you represent the moon and the sun, okay? And I'm hearing something. It's like a phrase or like a saying from the forces of the moon and the something of the sun. I'm not getting the show, the movie, or the book, but something was saying that, like, you know, chanting certain things. Magic. Was it Twitches? Artemis and Apollo? No. But yeah, there was something about them as well, since they're coming through. Why not? Artemis was the one who was the sun, right? No, she was the moon. Sorry. And she would tell stories and they would come true. And then we had Apollo, which was always up with the morning, the sun, and she would draw stuff. So they were kind of like the two pieces and that fit the puzzle. She would tell the stories, and Artemis would tell the stories, and Apollo would draw the stories, you know? So an illustrator and a book teller, you guys could be both. I'm hearing your hands are very seductive as well. The way you move them. With the happy family and the community card, the way you take care of your family, if you are someone who has kids or just a family in general, because the way the giraffe is sitting there kissing the little giraffe, and then we have happy family, you know, the way you take care of your people is very seductive. You know, you ever seen a good woman or a good man? That's a good man, Savannah. Or a good woman, they're taking care of their family, making sure their family eat. Maybe if you're married to someone, you take care of their kids, you take care of y'all kids, who knows? The way you cook dinner, you know? It's seductive. The way you just do the simple things and they're just like, oh, you know what I mean? I don't know. They're swooning because you made them dinner. You made the kids dinner. They like you, watching you take care of people. That's naturally seductive. When you're a caretaker, it's why you're naturally seductive. Okay. You put people to sleep. You rock babies to sleep. Look at that. When you and your man is in the house and you're just rocking their child to sleep, the child made together, they're just like swooning over you, stuff like that. When you're making them dinner, you're making the kids dinner, that's just like very attractive, very sexy to them, you know? Period. And then we had sensuality come through here, so you are very seductive, you know? And look at how we have a mandrake, and then we have this big plumage of flowers and leaves growing from where her hair should be. So there is something here about your hair that's naturally seductive. And we have the lion's mane, so it's big and it's curly. It's very bountiful. It's very voluminous. It's very dense. But there's something about that coming through. And then fork in the road. I don't understand fork in the road, though. That's the one card I'm not understanding for why you're naturally seductive. A fork in the road? What's it got to do with anything? You do have a lot of energy, though, sometimes, and other times you don't. Because we have the Knight of Wands, and then we have the Eight of Wands. Those both embody the same kind of energy, you know? Spitfiery. Maybe adventurous. I'm hearing attention-seeking. You're always going on a limb. Adrenaline junkie, stuff of that nature. If it fits, then it fits. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Because then there's another portion of you guys who are just like very, like, you walk really slow and you talk maybe kind of slow and soft, and it's just like the lilting in how you speak is also seductive. You kind of you appease the ear, where people are just like, oh, say that again. You know? So maybe some of you would work really well in audio for books, you know? And then we have caring connections coming through as well. So yeah, the people in your life find you naturally seductive when you do like things for them, like cooking and cleaning and whatever. Not because you're serving them or whatever. It's just the way you do it. Or the fact that you want to take care of them. Your caring nature is very seductive as well. Fours keep coming through. We have 14, 4, 46, 4, 4, 4, 48. There's another 4 coming through. So something here about you being very stable. And 4 came through for something else. Was it something else? You have 45, you have 47, 24, a lot of 4s. So the fact that you take care of people, you're a caretaker, you're a homemaker, all those things. Yeah, like I said, it's just the everyday things that you do, I think, makes you naturally seductive, honestly. And the thinking man, these men always just think about you for no reason. Your intuition is also very seductive, the way you know when things are going to happen, and you know how certain people are going to act, maybe. That could tie into fork in the road. You know when certain things are going to happen, and you always know which way to go because of your intuition. So it's never really a fork in the road for you. So people feel safe when they're with you because you always know the way to go. That's coming through. Maybe you guys look good in diamonds. You like to wear jewelry. Because this crystal here, the way it's shining is making me think of that. There's something here about heels. You like to wear heels a lot. You have really good legs. Because the way her leg is showing in this card over here. Slit up the thigh. You could wear dresses like that. The way her leg is showing here. This is the card that had me thinking about it though. Her legs, her calves in general, in particular. The bottom half of her legs, from the thigh down. The thighs are very seductive. I'm hearing they're very juicy. Okay, you can relax. Thank you. Thank you. Your waist is coming through as well. Just the way you walk and the way that you talk, I think. The way you do your hair. How you make people feel born again. Let me take up these cards for a second and look at the tarot cards and see if anything else comes through. The way you handle your burdens in your life, the way you don't complain, the way you don't conform is also what I'm hearing. The way you just do what needs to be done without complaining. The way you take care of your family. I think I said that already. And then we're getting a lot of moon cycles coming through here. So like I said, your changeability, your flexibility, your adaptability is also something that's coming through. You're as exciting as fireworks, because we have fireworks coming through this card here. No matter what journey you're on, people never get bored around you. Is also something that's coming through. Some planets coming through are Neptune, Jupiter, Neptune again. And look, in the Blue Lotus, we have the sun and the moon as well. I think, that's the same card I was talking about, yes. Here we have Mercury and Uranus. So Mercury, Mercurial, Uranus, unexpected. So you do things that are unexpected that people don't think you're going to do. So maybe some of you look innocent, but you do look very naughty things. That's Justice card in reverse. I think that's all that I'm getting, though, that I pulled from all the cards. I think I did. Those are the things that make you naturally seductive. I'm also hearing like you are very passionate about a lot of things in your life, because we have the fire, then we have the fireworks, and we have the sun burning very brightly in this specific card here. So you're just hot. Maybe you run hot, you're hot-headed, maybe. And all those things make you naturally seductive, okay? I'm also hearing your loyalty. The way you're loyal to the people around you. And that's what community could be coming through as well, and go the distance. People know you're always going to be there for them. You could be a ride or die. Okay, there could be something here about spots. You could like to wear a lot of prints. And that's naturally seductive. When people see you and see you dress well in all kinds of prints, it's very seductive as well. But But I'm going to leave your reading right there. The way you tap into your more childlike energy is also something that's coming through for you guys. The way you tap into your childlike essence. You can have like a childlike essence. Because we have the child coming through here in the Six of Emotions. That does represent childhood. Like I was saying, the way you grew up in a good, happy family is something that is coming through as well. I'm getting very weird things for you guys. Like this reading, I was expecting it to be more raunchy, but that's not what's coming through. So I guess I'll leave it there. But people look at you and they're fascinated because you're shiny, whoever they want to play with and get to know better. But the way he's intriguingly thinking about this crystal, it's giving, what's his name? The thinking man is actually a sculpture as well. So the way people are just like very curious about you. But I'm going to leave reading right there. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. I'm also hearing you're stubborn. That could be seductive as well. You don't change your mind very often, if at all. But yeah, if you like this reading, please like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading from me, you could always get in contact with me. Use my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group threes. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Light Seers Tarot or you chose the Ace of Wands card, then welcome to your reading. Today, we're going to be getting into what makes you naturally seductive, okay? So keep in mind that when it comes to what makes you naturally seductive, it's not going to be things that you do purposely to be seductive. So if you're looking for something extravagant or very extra when it comes to this reading, or the way you flip your hair and bat your eyelashes and purse your lips, that's not really going to be coming through, or it hasn't. It could come through in your reading, who knows? But it hasn't come through in group 1 or group 2. So it's kind of more the natural things that you are and the natural things that you do that kind of makes you more seductive. Don't be over here making all that noise. Okay, sorry, my dog is making noise. Okay. Yes, that is what's coming through. So we're going to get into it immediately. I already knew it, like I said, with group 1 and group 2. There could be somebody who's watching all 3 groups, okay? Because I'm getting a thread of creativity, the way your mind works, things that you do, the things that you create. And I do feel like maybe everyone creates things differently in each group, which is why creativity is coming through, because there are people who create podcasts. And that's like an active form of creation, you know. There are people who create music, and that's people who are more behind the scenes kind of energy. People who create art, people who create, you know, TV shows, and there's all sorts of things that go into creating things. And I do believe maybe each group is embodying a different kind of creation. So for group 1, we were getting kind of like, I'm not gonna get into it, okay? For your group, we're getting something here about, I'm hearing burning the midnight oil. So maybe the fact that you're always up with the nighttime and you're a night owl is something that's naturally seductive about you, because people who are night dwellers or who feel more alive at night, there's just there's like a mystery and an intrigue, a mystique that comes with being a night person, that comes with being up at night. People who thrive at nighttime are a different breed of people, you know? So your night owl tendencies, you know, or burning the midnight oil, you stay up and create at nighttime. Maybe you, I'm hearing whispering, so maybe you do ASMR. That's your creative outlet, you know? There's something about that coming through. I'm hearing the world works in mysterious ways, but I heard the mind works in mysterious ways. So there's something very mysterious about you guys as well. And for example, Mystique is also a character who's played by someone who has to be, her body, she's fully nude. Mystique, her body is just like for the okay. Her body, her character, I feel, was mostly made for the male gaze, you know? And that could be how you feel. You could feel like you're objectified by your body, and people are always looking at you, and you can see people that are imagining you naked. That's why you're naturally seductive. Not me saying those things are not going to be coming through, and they're kind of coming through. People like objectify you in that kind of way, you know? Because there's a fire that burns within you. You give off nighttime energy. You give off seduction, mystique. things that are kept in the dark. What do we do under the guise of darkness? You know, things like that, naughty thoughts and whatnot. But the fact that I said Mystique, and she's a character who can turn into anyone and be anything, that could be your bruh. That could be your creative side coming out as well. You can become morph into anyone and anything, or you could do just about anything. You can sing, dance, make music, write. You know what I mean? I'm hearing race. You could be a race car driver. I don't know. You could do all the things that I said. You could work behind the scenes. You could do everything is what I'm hearing. You could be the person who makes the music and produces it as well as just singing on it. You could write the music, produce it, and then sing on it. Like, you know, giving singer-songwriter-esque vibes. You could just pull out a guitar, an acoustic guitar, and start, you know, strumming and singing along kind of vibe. And you're the person, and then you're hitting record on your phone and recording yourself doing that. So it's giving like a little bit of influencer vibes maybe, and that's why you could have attract a lot of attention. Maybe you sing about seductive things, you dress very seductively, or you just have that air about you that people are just like, yummy is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing divine. I'm laughing because I used to say that a lot. Because every time I hear the character in Candy Crush Saga say that, the way he says it just is so seductive. Tell me it's not. If you've ever played Candy Crush, the way the guy says divine, like when you do something right, like tell me he's not trying to sit there and sound seductive. Tell me he doesn't. And maybe he wasn't trying to, but he did. So every time I hear divine, it makes me laugh. And recently, YouTube has started showing Candy Crush ads. And when I'm watching ads to, you know, support my YouTubers, which you should do as well when you're watching my videos, wink, wink, shove, shove. The videos, the ads that come on, he says it. I'm like, what? It takes me back. So I haven't played Candy Crush Saga in years. And he says it in the ads. And I'm like, look at you. I remember that. It kind of like brings up old repressed memories from the back of my mind that I completely forgot about. That could also be something that makes you seductive. You bring up those memories in people as well, you know? For some of you, I'm getting something more salacious and specific to the people who have been with you before. Maybe when they see you, they get kind of like flashbacks to the things you was doing to them in the dark of night, okay? Or whatever. Okay, Ace of Wands. Their mind is always racing and going when it comes to you. People are always thinking of you very heavily, which did kind of come through in group 2. So I'm pretty sure maybe group 1 a little bit. I'm not sure. I think mostly group 2 though. So like I said, if you were called to those groups, you can watch them. Many things make us seductive. Maybe not just one group, because like I said, there's like a running theme going through all the groups. Maybe you're very colorful and that makes you naturally seductive. You wear a lot of colors. One thing I love about this deck is that I be forgetting how nice and pretty it is based on just the backs. I'm like, what is this? Boring. Maybe you look like a Christmas tree, or you're always real done up in like a lot of accessories. So that you have a Christmas tree, and when the Christmas tree is bare, it's like, whatever, it's a tree. But then when the Christmas tree has all the ornaments and the stuff on it and the star, that's when they become the kind of like, so maybe you dress in a creative way, you know? You dress really wonky or out there patterns, stuff like that. Or you dress in a way people have never seen before is also what I'm getting for you guys. So maybe some of you are fashion designers or something like that. I'm hearing like specific aesthetic. Your aesthetic is what makes you naturally seductive. So I don't know if you guys do the whole romantic coquette, you know, aesthetic, or you do the naturally femme fatale aesthetic, or the siren or the seductress aesthetic, where there's certain parts of you that are accentuated that makes people want to look more at you, you know? And that's why you're naturally seductive, because it's the way you dress, okay? The way that you look. Essentially, I'm hearing siren eyes, and I'm also hearing dark red lipstick, so that could be important for some of you. I'm also hearing very plump lips, glossy lips, so your lips in general are naturally seductive, okay? They're plump, they're juicy. People want to bite them, kiss them, whatever you want to call it, okay? I'm getting a lot more channel messages for you guys, or I'm hearing things, so my clairaudience is like very active in this group. I haven't even pulled cards yet, and who knows how much time has passed. So yeah, that's coming through as well. I'm like, do I even need the cards? But that's what I was saying about how this deck is like very freaking colorful and beautiful, but you can never tell based on just the back of the deck. That could tie into how you're naturally seductive as well, because there's a lot more than meets the eye when it comes to you. The first thing people see is not what you actually are. It's when they get to know you more, when you dress yourself or something like that, you know? I don't know. I'm also hearing people think it's weird when you're not dressed up to the nines. So maybe you are someone who dresses up really nicely, or you accessorize a lot. So if you are someone who wears bracelets, chains and earrings and headbands or something like that, if people were to see you outside of that, they would think it's weird, because you're someone who's always like dressing up your I'm hearing skin suit. You're dressing up your canvas, you know, so you could be someone who paints and draws as well. Let's get into the energy for you guys. What makes my group threes naturally seductive? Please, Spirit, what makes them naturally seductive? I'm hearing your curves. So you are definitely someone who, no matter what you're wearing, people can see the details that went into it. Like, you press your clothes, you iron your clothes, you wash your clothes. You can be the kind of person that when you pass by someone, you smell like detergent. And I love those people. Like, I don't need expensive colognes. Pass by me smelling like detergent. Oh, it's over. Stop it. Maybe cologne and perfume is important here as well. Let's get into it. Okay, thank you. I needed that because no cards is coming out. We have the Two of Swords. And we also have the Two of Wands. Okay, so we're going to put this upright for now. And then we'll see what comes through. My group threes, what makes them naturally seductive. I'm hearing your progressive mind, your progressive spirit, the way you come up with ideas that other people wouldn't come up with. And that's what was kind of coming through. Oh no, the candle. Oh, it's still burning for 2 seconds. Okay, it's almost out though. Yeah, see, burning the midnight oil when the candle's almost done because you use it all night. It's coming through very heavily. King of Cups did come through in group 2 as well. Just putting it out there in case anybody's interested. But the Two of Wands, the way your world view. The way you view the world, the way you view people. I'm hearing mankind. Interesting. So do you consider yourself an alien because you don't consider yourself mankind, a part of mankind? I don't know. The way you're always at peace. There's something here about your colors. You're very beautiful. So the colors you wear. Group threes, what makes them naturally seductive? Your wisdom. I'm hearing, what is it called? Your dark energy. Because there's something here about the crows that are playing into something. And crows represent intelligence. It also represents afterlife, death, messages, wisdom. And you guys are giving that as well. I'm hearing crone energy. So maybe you guys are giving triple moon goddess. You're the mother, the maiden, and the crone. It just depends what energy people catch you in. We have the Ace of Swords. Yeah, there's never any confusion when it comes to you and who you are. You know? Look at how these two birds are trying to blindfold her and mimic her and keep her trapped. And she's literally like ripping off the blindfold and trying to fight back, you know? You're not fake. You're very transparent. Oh, Lord. I forgot to warn y'all about that clock. Maybe you catch people off guard or unaware. Because for group 2, it didn't come off. Because I think I finished it before the start of the new hour. But every hour on the hour, this clock be going off. And I warned group 1. Didn't happen for group 2, and I forgot to warn you guys. So there's something about you that catches people off guard. I'm hearing your eyes, because her eyes being covered, okay, is giving me how in something about Medusa, how her eyes are always covered, or she has glasses on until she takes them off, and then she kind of freezes people in their place, you know? So maybe it's your eye contact that's very seductive as well. So you guys are getting more traditionally seductive things about you. So maybe you, like, just like I said, you're an overall naturally seductive person, okay? Five of Wands, your competitiveness, the way that you always want to win. You always want to come out on top. You don't give up or back down. And we have Wands. Oh, this is cool so far. We have Wands, clarifying Wands. We have Swords, clarifying Swords. And then over here, we just have the Eight of Wands, clarifying the Devil. Look at all the beautiful coloring and imagery in this. There's something here about the way you look. You look really pretty. The other cards are cute, but this is like the most aesthetic pleasing deck, in my opinion, that I've used today. You could have like strong arms. People, if you're a guy, they like when you wear those shirts that show off your arms. Okay. Silhouette. It's coming through. This reading is the most chaotic of the group. So you're very chaotic, okay? That song just popped in, and the way I just sang it out loud like that was weird. Silhouette by Jordan Sparks is coming through. So your silhouette is attractive, is what I was saying. Whether you have the curves or you don't, you have the lines or you don't, the things you wear, how you walk, and that's what that has to do with your silhouette. With how your clothes drape and over you very well. And here we have the Magician. Yeah, there's something very magical about you, I would say. What we're going to do is do a little bit of that, so we have more cards to put. So you're either just not straight, or nope, maybe like that is better. I hope it's showing up straight for you guys. Can I get one more card? At the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. My group 3 is what makes them naturally seductive. Some of you have bobs, because I keep getting that vibe. My women, her hair is shorter and wavy and curly hair, and then shorter but in like a bob cut bangs is coming through as well. Bang, not the bang. Yeah, there's something here about you dressing creatively, you being very free when it comes to how, and look at how I'm saying her soul is free from any constraints, physical constraints, you know, so you're very much a very free spirit. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So you give off like a, how can I say it? Those people in the books, and the movies, and the TV shows who are just very expressive and creative and open. They walk around with the clothes other people would never wear, or putting together outfits people would never be able to put together themselves, or they just came out of the art department and they give off the artsy vibes, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but you know the vibe that I'm trying to portray, or convey, I should say. The artiste. I'm getting a Miss, what's her name from High School Musical? She was the head of the theater department. It's Miss something with a D. Miss whatever her name was. I believe it was. And she was like very extra. It's theater. You know, the art. She was very big on that kind of stuff. So maybe you're giving theater kid or theater adult. Maybe you're very expressive in the way you say things and do things. You know what I mean? Like, what was her name? I forget. But that's what your guys are giving. We're going to get some more cards from these decks here. The Devil's also giving, like, people get obsessed with you very easily. People like to see what you're doing at all times. They're very in tune. They get very attached easily. And that would make sense if you're coming through as the King of Cups. Because that's definitely like a very safe environment emotionally. And that can get intoxicating to be in the presence of a King of Cups, you know? Especially if he is in his most high vibrational energy. The King of Cups is like a very, ooh, you're under his spell kind of thing, you know? Here we have Strength. I don't want to take it though, so we're going to keep shuffling. What cards are this? We have Destiny. Interesting. And then we have a Wounded Healer. Aww. Okay, so I'll take the ones that flipped over. We have Radiance. So yeah, you shine from within. That's that whole, your personality is very out there. It's very different. It's very, I don't want to keep saying quirky for everything, but it's like, you know, different. Hard to explain. A radiance is a radiance about you. And then we have Nurture. And that's that King of Cups kind of coming through. That's a person you can trust with all your deepest, darkest secrets, I would say. Five of Wands, competitive nature. Eight of Wands did come through in group 2 as well, if you felt called to group 2. Like I said, each group is kind of like giving me there's someone who could be watching all of them, or you could relate to all of them in some kind of way. If you were to watch every single one, you could find something that's like, oh, that resonates with me. Maybe not everything, but something, a common thread is what I call it. Wounded healer, Chiron energy. This is kind of like you wanting to help everyone else before helping yourself. Putting other people before you. A dandelion is also, I grew up in a place where they said if you make a wish on a dandelion, it'll come true. You have to blow off all the petals first. So you could be like a wish come true, something like that. But you unlock the mysteries of the universe is something that keeps coming through, because this card clarifying this card and this card having like a crow in it. If you guys can even see the crow, there's a crow coming through in this card here. And like I said, crows represent infinite wisdom. They also are very, not close to, but they relate to specific goddesses that have to do with like witchcraft, like 𝐓𝐻𝐿 and stuff like that. So there's something here about that being maybe a little bit witchy, maybe. And that's why you're naturally seductive, because you give off that magic. There's an essence. Maybe people do think you have actual magic, or you have psychic abilities or something like that. There's something coming through. Because like I said in the beginning of the reading, I didn't even need the cards to like decipher your energy. And now these cards are coming out to clarify what was saying in the beginning of the reading. So there's something here about you not even needing the cards to like be a channel of spirit or have clairaudience or whatever. Because clairaudience is completely independent from card reading, okay? So is channeling. You can be a channeler and you don't know how to read cards. You just channel the energy, the messages, you know? Then you could be someone who only knows how to read the cards, and you read what the cards say and you don't get any extra messages, or you don't hear anything, you don't get any music, something like that. Little hits of things, and you just read the cards. And there's people who don't even need the card, they're just clairaudient, and they could just sit here and hear things and it will resonate with you. You know, so there's a bunch of different things coming through for you guys. You guys can embody all of those things. And people just think you know things about them. You have that kind of look in your eye, you know, that spark, that twinkles, what I'm hearing, twinkle in your eye. And that's naturally seductive. You're giving mischievous a little bit, you know? You're getting a little mischievous. You don't like to be holed up in a room. You want to be outside doing stuff, getting into things. I'm hearing you're hands-on is also what I'm hearing as well. Your soul is elevated, it's free. Judgment card, clarifying the devil. Wow. A major arcana, clarifying a major arcana card. Like I said, the devil's about things that hold us back, things that trap us, vices, obsessions, addictions, kind of energy. It also represents Capricorn. So like once those things have a hold on you, they have a hold on you. It's hard to kind of break free from those things. So there can be something about that as well. It's hard for people to stop looking at you, wanting to be around you, like so much so that it turns into like an obsession. So some of you really do have people obsessed with you, and that's not something, it's something to be like, oh, but it's something to be very careful about, because that can lead to some things, debauched things, some, you know, it's not always a good thing to have people so focused on what you're doing and where you're going and stuff like that, because it leads to a lot of evil eye. It leads to a lot of people meddling in your business. You know, it's just not always a good thing. So be careful when it comes to that, okay? With the Judgment card coming through as well, there's something here about your guidance, your spirit, your soul being free, able to astral travel, which is what I was talking about. It came through in group 2, ayahuasca ceremony, where you can astral travel, do things, your soul is separated from your body. It's like a lightness about you, okay? Radiance, so that's that nurturing and radiance energy coming through with the Judgment. It's kind of like the Judgment card always gives me followers, people wanting to see what you're doing, people always listening, tuning in kind of vibes. You have that influencer, leader kind of energy that did come through group 2. I'm gonna stop mentioning them, I'm sorry. Let me keep getting cards. How about that? What's naturally seductive? Lemon balm. I never realized that was lemon balm. So there's something like very zesty. That's what I was saying about that. twinkle in your eye. There's something extra about you. Like, people are people, but there's always, you have like a little extra seasoning, a little extra kick, a little extra zest when it comes to who you are, group 3, that have people like, oh, you know, leaning in a little more, looking a little extra deeper, maybe trying to find flaws about you, trying to cut you down a peg. Maybe that could be something that's like a darkness or magic, or like I said, something to you. Maybe you have like a goddess attached to you and you work with them, through them, and people can feel that extra, I want to say extracurricular. It's not extraterrestrial either. They can just feel that extra-ness to you. What card fell, bro? I'm about to fight these cards here. Because they won't let me be great. Move. Okay. Sorry about that rah. Okay, let's fix the cards back. And then we got Come to the Edge. Yeah, there's some, okay, let me get the cards out first. We have Serendipity. There's something about you that makes people want to risk themselves. Like I said, that night, when you go out at nighttime, there's something about you risking something, because things happen at night. That's not always good. And I do believe like Hecate is like a dark goddess or something like that. You know what I mean? Or the witch of the night. There's something about night and Hecate that go together real bad, you know? But there's something about coming to the edge. People think they're experiencing a new thing and a new feeling, something that they can't explain when they're looking at you, and it's kind of like they're going on an adventure. You bring them to life, you know, because I'm hearing Bring Me to Life by Evanescence now. That song is coming through. You could just say one specific lyric and the song just wants to come blasting through. I'm like, excuse me, I can never just live my life. There's something also very chill. I'm hearing easy breezy, beautiful cover girl about you. Effortless beauty, effortless class. That's funny. I'm hearing that scene from what is it called? The Parent Trap, where Hallie and Annie are trying to discover what is different about them, because they're like, we're not the same person. Because when they first go to camp, if you've seen The Parent Trap, it's about twins who were separated at birth. One parent took one child, the other parent took the next child, and had them grow up in different countries, essentially. But there was something about them going to that same camp. The parents always wanted their kids to go there, or they talked about it, and they ended up both sending their kids to that same camp. And then Hallie and Annie realized that they're twins. And there's something about them playing a poker game. So maybe have a good poker face. And there's something about, is it because I have thing and you don't, or I have class and you don't? You know, that's coming through. I'm trying to remember what she said, but I believe it was Annie or Hallie pretending to have a British accent. But one of them was like, what's so different about us? Like, we're not the same person. She's like, yeah, is it because I have this and you don't, or I have class and you don't? So it could be something here about you being very posh, a posh accent, you know, British accent, something like that. But we have Imagine. And now the song by Ariana Grande is coming through. Imagine a world like that. So people imagine things when they're with you. Like I said, they get lost in their head and they think lots of thoughts. With that King of Cups coming through, their imagination. You have a really good imagination as well. That's why you're naturally seductive. You get people thinking, but it's because you think so deeply as well. It could be that you ask like philosophical questions like, why do you think this thing? Or what does that mean? And stuff like that. And you get people thinking really deep because you think really deep. They're just like, wait, I've never thought of it in that way. And they start thinking of it in that way because of what you said or asked them, you know? So you're very inquisitive. You ask a lot of questions. Can I get one more card for why my group 3s are naturally seductive, please? Come to the edge. Time to go. What is all that rah-rah-rah noise going through? There could be something here about people thinking that they were destined to meet you. That could be something coming through. Like I was meant to be. You were meant for me. Made for me. It's coming through. A Mooney Long. I don't actually know how to pronounce her name, but I think it's Mooney. long. Here we have time to go. It's like, nobody knows me like you do. Nobody gonna love me quite like you. Can't even deny it every time I try it. One look in my eyes, you know I'm lying, lying. Body to body, skin to skin, I'm never gonna... Okay, I'm done. You were made for me. That song is coming through. That's what's coming through. People think you were made for them. That's why we have serendipity coming through here. And we have come to the edge. People think it's like exhilarating. It's like they're taking a chance on life. They're doing something they've never done before. And it's like making them feel this Two of Wands, which is like contemplating doing something dangerous or exciting or, you know, creative. And now that we're doing it, it's like, oh, we're having the time of our lives together, you know? Someone who convinces you to do things that may not be the best for you, but it's not even the best for you. That's not what I'm getting. That may convince you to do things that are the best for you, but it's scary to do it at first. When you come to the edge, it's not easy to do. But when you do and you live on the edge, it's very exciting, is it not? And it doesn't always have to be living on the edge in a negative way. It could be in a positive way, you know? I think it could be both, honestly, for you guys. Where people get obsessed with you and they can't like let you go or stop thinking about you or talking about you. They kind of like get obsessed. It's giving me those movies where the girl starts dating the guy and then she breaks up with the guy because he gets too attached, too possessive, and the guy starts stalking her. There's a specific movie with Michael Ealy and somebody. It's one of those actresses that is coming through right now. And then she has to go to her ex-man and he has to come and fight Michael Ealy. For me, let me stop. Let me not be toxic. Because I'm like, girl, you have Michael Ealy and you have Morris Chestnut and you didn't take both of them? You trying to pick and choose? I would have kept both of them. What you mean having a man a little upset with you ain't too bad now, you know? But that's the toxic in me coming through. Let me, stop, push it out, you know? That is definitely what's coming through here. You get people to do things they've never done before, and that's like very exhilarating, or say things, think things they've never done before, and they're just like, oh, okay. And then when it's time to leave or when it's time to go, they really don't want to go. They're just like, do I have to, you know? But like when it is time to leave and move on from something, you out. You the first one gone, you know what I mean? That's the kind of how it's coming through. People are like, oh no, are you leaving already? Yeah, I have to go. No, will you stay a little bit longer? Nah, I got to go. I'm head out, you know? And that's why we have the destiny coming through, where they think they were meant to meet you, because you kind of, I don't know, you get them thinking and seeing things from a new light, different perspective kind of energy. That's the Ace of Swords. You provide some clarity and some light. You could be like really good at solving. Sir, can you not pee while I'm doing a video? The nerve of some dogs, bro. I hope you didn't hear that. If you did, sorry. It was water running. That's all you need to know. Are you done? Okay. Ace of Swords, clarity, light through the darkness, epiphany moments. That's all what the Ace of Swords means. And there's something there about like people see you and they just see a bright light, like an aura around you that makes someone wanna, you know, come a little closer. Come on, come a little closer. That song was coming through by Brandy. That is an old song. Come a little bit closer. Let me hold you, baby. I will be good to you. And we can try, tell them what, to forget tomorrow. Yo, make it last forever. Tonight. And I'm talking about night with y'all, right? Okay. Come a little closer by Brandy's coming. That used to be my song, guys. Like, yo, I used to be just in bed listening to that. So like, yes, Brandy, sing it. But enough about me. Back to y'all. That's what the Ace of Swords is kind of giving me. Come a little bit closer. And I'm hearing that song by what's her name as well. I think it's Christina Aguilera. Come on over, baby. So it's kind of like you give like a flirty, come hither, come a little closer, don't stay away kind of like energy by your look, you know? Like I say sometimes, come hither. Okay, Five of Wands, competitive. You like to get things done. You like to be the best of the best. That's something that's also very seductive about you as well. That you only go for the best. You only want the best. Okay, you only strive for the best. We have one more deck to pull from, so let me stop chatting and get to it. And look at how there's something here about adventure in this card. We have this person, Radiance, how she's running with the animals and she's naked. And that's exactly what I was saying about Mystique in the beginning of the reading. There's something here about people wanting to see you naked or run wild and free. You know what I mean? The knockers swing-a-langin'. Yeah, okay, I'm waiting for the day where somebody cancels me because I'm ridiculous, okay? The knockers is swing-a-langin'. They're not concealed. They want you to be your free, wild, uninhibited self. And that's what makes you naturally seductive, because you do it. You are. You did not just... Anywho, let me mind my business. We have adjacent possibilities. You make people see the possibilities. Okay, relax. These cards are going crazy. Angel of Balance also came through in group 2. I saw it stop. I'm done. Interesting. We have a yin yang. So look, group 1 got yang. You're giving both. Okay? So there's something here about a duality where you are both feminine and masculine. Which is, I feel like I've been getting that a lot, honestly. And I do believe Mystique, because we keep coming back to her, she was also someone who could be anything and anyone. That's her. That was her creativity. She could dress anyhow, look anyhow, and you would never know if she wasn't that person, you know? So you kind of like you embody a lot of different things. And I keep hearing Alex Russo for you guys. I'm getting those crazy little outfits she used to wear on Disney Channel with the tights and the skirts together and the funky designs on the skirts and these things in her hair. And like, they would just make her wear anything. I'm also hearing, what's her name? Carly from iCarly. How they would just put her in any old thing. You know what I mean? If that even makes sense. They would just be wearing the most outlandish outfits. I'm also hearing Raven Simone, so from That's So Raven, how she would just put together these weird outfits that no teenager that I know would have been able to put together for themselves. But that's just them trying to make you feed into the whole fantasy of it all. Like, these are teenagers and they dress grown and have all this fashion, and their parents can afford for them to have a new outfit every episode, and they go to school and they're the popular kid in school and everyone loves them. And that's the kind of thing you're playing into. That was Carly. Everyone loved Carly. She had this big, nice penthouse, her own room. She started iCarly. She was the first influencer we ever saw on TV, because she had her own little web show with Sam, but she was one everybody wanted. She was the nice one, you know what I mean? She's the one that Freddie loved for years. She got all the boys, you know what I mean? That kind of energy. Then we had Alex. She also got all the boys. She had the nice, cute, little different outfits, quirky outfits every season, every episode. She got the cute guys. She had magic, you know what I mean? You know? And I'm hearing, some call it magic. But the things I see, pop, pop, and I don't understand it, or why it happened to me. That's a Raven Simone coming through. Some call it magic. So people some call it magic. It's like, you either have it or you don't. And you definitely do have it. So, yeah. Anything else? One more card from here. I'll take it. Why not? We have action. That's the 8 of Wands coming through. So let's kind of fix these. Adjacent possibilities. Wounded healer. There can be something, yeah, very healing about you. And I think I was getting that for group 1 as well. So if you feel called group 1 too, like I said, there's somebody who could watch all 3 of these and find something that resonates with them, okay? We have action, and we have the 2 horses. We have black and white, yin and yang, okay? That's coming through. Then we have serendipity. Maybe people think, like I said, they're meant to meet you for a reason, or a lot of things happen when they're around you. Serendipitous events. Here we have Angel of Balance. Okay, that's giving temperance, honestly. We have Imagine. Step of the tour bus. Nobody knows us. Get in the car like soo, soo, soo. Something to something. Order me pad thai. Then we gon' sleep till noon, noon, noon. Me in the bathtub. Me in the da da bubbly too. You know that song's coming through? Just imagine a world like that. People could find themselves lost in a trance when it comes to you thinking about different things. I think that keeps coming through. Lost in a trance, lost in a, what do people call it? Not an episode, but a fantasy. You know, they make you up to be something bigger than you are, or maybe bigger. I mean, smaller than you are, maybe, because you are someone who's big. You give that energy off, and that's why you're naturally seductive. You give off that charm, that charisma, that make people want to know more, get closer, you know, come a little bit closer, okay? But yeah, it's giving like a very romantic air. She's wearing the flowy white dress, the innocence. Then we have the rose petals, you know, that kind of energy is coming through. Then we have the 4-leaf clover. You could be very lucky, serendipitous. And then we have Imagine. Was it you guys? No, that was group 2, I believe. Where we have the sun and the moon imagery. But it's kind of like that duality. But then we had yin and yang. So it basically means the same thing, honestly. But Imagine is kind of like giving Oasis, maybe. I'm hearing Wonderwall by Oasis coming through. That could be a song significant to somebody here. Like, you're a wonder wall. People look up at you and wonder, or look at you and wonder, like, oh, how do they do that? How they like that? How they just like that? You know, that kind of thing. Time to go, we went over, and adjacent possibilities. It's kind of like people, like, all these dimensions are coming through when it comes to you guys. So you guys are embodying a bunch of different stereotypes or archetypes, and people are just like I said, who's who and what is what. Sometimes you're like this way, sometimes you're like that way. And that's the action, the white horse, the black horse. That is the yin and yang. That's the angel of balance. That keeps coming through. Like, you're young, wild, and free, but also composed and regal, if that makes sense. That's the best way I can explain it. So I'm not just saying, oh, you're this and that. And you're like, okay, I'm what and what, you know? You going out to the party, staying out late, having a good old time dancing. Then you're also the person who's going to go to a party and stay by yourself in the corner and not be bothered by anybody. It's like, it just depends on your mood, you know? But it's like you're always moving onward, upward. You're always chasing something, going after something, the action card. Because we have this card here, and then we have time to go. She's literally running towards this door here. And then we have this John Warts here where she's running towards something as well. And it looks like she's running over a rainbow. So somewhere over the rainbow, it could be coming through as well. Skies are blue. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue. And this, that not a song from, what's that movie? The Wizard of Oz, I think. From The Wizard of Oz, and that's where she went to a different, dimension or world, okay? So something like that is coming through. You look like you come from somewhere else. Like I said, I think I said ethereal for you guys. If I didn't, then I'm saying it, okay? But I think that's all that I have for you guys. People don't know what to expect. They're just like, there's so many possibilities of what you could be. And they're just interested in knowing. I love how we had Judgment come through here, and Judgment is the number 20. And then we have, with Imagine, Judgment card, and it is kind of giving me the same thing, where she's leaving her body and moving up. She's ascending, essentially. So very, like, high vibes you guys are. Very, very high vibes. Other dimensions, 5 dimensions and above, is basically what the energy I'll be vibing at. Okay? Okay, I think that's what I have for you guys. So I don't think there's anything else that I want to say that's coming through. I think I've spoken enough, however long I've been speaking. But I'm gonna let you go here. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me. Use my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Bye.